Two mates, one obsession, cars. We're here to talk, drive, and occasionally bin it in the name of automotive passion. From dream garages to the latest car news, this is the Ditchfinders podcast.
God, it feels like we're starting a podcast for the first time again, doesn't it? It's been that long.
It's been a month.
Well, want to explain yourself?
A month today we recorded before I went away. So it'll be a month this Sunday or Monday when it goes live. It's half. No, it's not my fault.
It is. Well, no.
It's not my fault. It is my fault, but it's not my fault. I planned everything quite well with the house and upgrades. Didn't have a kitchen or bathroom, so went away for the bathroom to be finished. And a cowboy of a plumber left me without either. And meant I had to sack him and do it myself. So it's meant I've been a bit busy.
Yeah.
The house more livable than it was. But we're on track. We're back on track. And therefore, we're able to do this again. So it is my fault that we haven't done an episode. But I haven't been able to do a lot about it.
No. Out your hands.
A little bit. But we're back. We're back.
To put it into context, I think I messaged you the other day at like 10 o'clock, something about this podcast. And you were like, sorry, mate, I can't call, I'm grouting. At 10 o'clock on like Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been like that for, every day. It's been nuts. But we're on track. We're doing all right.
Good.
So we're back.
Anything automotive to report?
From Spain? Or just in general?
Yeah, in general.
One thing Spain did make me realise, we're quite lucky. We often complain about the price of cars. Cars are really expensive in Spain.
Right.
Way more, even second-hand.
Unless it's Seat.
Mate, even that. Just second-hand normal cars are more expensive.
Really?
Way more expensive.
It would be dirt cheap.
No. The opposite. It's like the Nissan Patrol that's over there. That's literally be 1,500 quid here. Will be 5-6 grand.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Even for bangers. I don't know. They just are more expensive. Everyone just drives around on scooters.
And so like a more executive car, like a 3 Series, would that be proportionally more as well? Or
Yeah.
All of it.
It's just all more expensive.
Yeah.
And you just see less of you just see lots of hatchbacks, small cars, old cars, and people hold on to them. And cars seem to last, I think, longer over there because it's not as wet or as damp and they're not used as heavily.
Yeah, on the contrary, though, it's hot and dusty a lot of the time.
It depends where you are, doesn't it?
But
yeah. Cars are really expensive. So it kind of made me realise that actually we're quite lucky that we can just pick up a Boxster for 5 grand, 10 grand, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So we are better off.
Funny you say that. I've had a note written down. Recently been car shopping with my brother for his first car. He's only 29, so about time, Luke. And I was, from that experience, I've come to the decision that buying a nice, reliable, good car for, say, 10 grand can actually be quite a challenge in the UK.
To buy one that's been looked after
and
a nice spec that isn't 20, 30 years old, to find that gem, to find that look, you're not after something crazy sporty, but just to find something that's nice, looked after, low miles. You're right. Isn't your brother asked me or sent me a few cars, and I'd often send a few cars back, and it was quite hard to find, within a given category, whether that be a price of 10k, mileage less than 70, something that can fit 4 people in it, that isn't 50 brake horsepower. You get the odd, let's say 1 Series, for example, minis, loads of different hatchbacks. But even in those respective cars and brands, there's only 1 or 2 nice ones you'd actually buy.
Yeah.
So when you search, and then you narrow it down to, let's say you go 1 Series, and you're trying to find one that's M Sport, because you've got, want it nicer, that hasn't got 80,000, 90,000 miles and just looks trash, that actually has a nice spec and isn't just a leery colour. There isn't that many.
No, it's like you say, when you get down to that point when you get quite specific with the model and the spec and whatever, there's not that many around, and then the ones that are, you've got to really hand pick to find one that you know is going to be reliable. But it's just funny, before that search in my head, I'm like, you could pick up like a decent, super reliable 1 Series for like 7-8 grand or whatever, and then you go online and it's like 10 plus for something that you know is going to be under 50,000 miles, for example. But yeah, he ended up buying a 125D M Sport in a nice silvery blue.
It's a lovely spec. I think
really nice.
People are coming back to that here at BMW. Rob here at work had a Caddy that was highly modified, as a lot of them are, and slammed and loads of stuff done to it. Just constantly the most unreliable thing ever. And he's gone now and bought a 320D 2014, like real like business executive spec, silver wheels, no tint, silver trim, pan roof, iDrive, and it's just lovely. It's just just a good car.
That era of BMW was perfect balance, isn't it?
So that's a 2014 with 90-ish thousand miles.
Mm-hmm.
I think he paid $4,000.
$4,000. Well, he's proving me wrong there.
From a local forecourt.
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah.
For 2014, yeah.
It's lovely.
That's dirt cheap.
Probably needs its timing chain doing, but worse, that's, I don't know what that will probably cost, up to $1,000 if you just go to a local guy rather than BMW. But yeah, great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? You've got to find those cheap back corner jobs that have a good service history. And
I think the early thousands BMWs are starting to feel a bit old now, but anything from 06, 07 to mid-teens, I think it's just a fantastic era of BMW. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, and the right price bracket if you want something that's reliable that you're not going to drop a bomb on.
Indeed.
In the long term.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
What else have I been up to? More bike stuff than cars recently. It's coming to that time of year. We've got some pit bikes in Spain. Mm-hmm. They're unbelievable fun in the mountains. And then yesterday, I spent the day just MOTing motorbikes. We did 2 runs of 2 bikes at a time. So we got the 4 bikes up and running. And mate, it's just such a good day to go on the bikes. And then one bike I haven't ridden, I haven't rode, I don't know on them. I'm too tired. Since 2019. And the other's one that's new to me. Honestly, all the bikes didn't skip a beat. They're amazing. I had a really good day, so I can't wait to use them.
Yeah, and we've actually got some space in here today for a change.
Yeah, usually this is just lined up.
Surrounded.
And we squeeze in between. I went out in, I want to say 2020, might just be 2020 or 2021, Aston Martin DBS.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about it, have we?
Recalibrated my brain. Fastest thing I've ever been in.
Yeah.
I think they're so slept on.
Really?
Man, I can't get over how quick it was. And it's the same lovely chap that took me out around Donington in his 991.2 GT3. Same chap. And went up to see him. And yeah, he's sold the GT3 and bought an Aston Martin DBS.
As you do.
As you do. And I can understand why he's done it now. We went out. We went for a really good drive out on it. I cannot get my head around how quick that thing is. And how it's almost not really known. You know, we watch all these videos on every car that ever gets released, and they talk about how quick it is or how well it handles or the certain characteristics or whether it's crap, good, and you get a general idea of what the car's like. I don't feel like anyone mentioned how absolutely bonkers it is. It's got 2 personalities. It's schizophrenic. It's bipolar. Yeah. It's got GT mode, and it's super soft, rides really well, and I can imagine it's like being in a Bentley. It's lovely. And you can just cruise at 30 miles an hour. And like he says, it's so nice for going out for meals, going down the pub. Great. And then just flick it into sport. And it just wants to kill you.
Yeah.
It's so quick. He's had some nice cars. He's had Turbo S's. He's had some really quick stuff. Even he said this is on another level.
Compared to a Turbo S.
Yeah, because I don't know what it's pushing. 700 brake. It might even be over. Yeah. But it is rapid.
Bit of a rocket ship. Does it sound nice inside?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
It's a twin turbo V12. It sounds amazing. And it looks amazing. I almost don't associate it with the DB11, which is obviously what it's based on.
Right, yeah.
but you don't really notice or think about when you're there and you're looking at it. It's so aggressive. The entire front bonnet is just exposed carbon fibre underneath it. And it's like clamshell. It comes up and it's just exposed carbon fibre.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Everything is
But it's
amazing.
But it's so pretty as well.
It really is.
Yeah. What colour?
Black.
Black.
With an amazing metallic floor.
What colour wheels?
Black.
Black on black.
Black on black. With
they look mean.
A bold red leather. It actually worked really well. It was kind of a burgundy red.
Okay, yeah.
Really works. Full
black left in your face.
A few Q spec things on there, like the badges and centre caps. Put it this way. This is why I think this is crazy. List, I think it was 250 grand, £250,000.
Mm-hmm.
One owner from new, 6,000 miles, half price.
125.
Yep.
In a way, that doesn't surprise me, but that's actually a lot of car for that money.
It's one of those cars, mate. I got in and we went round and I couldn't believe just a normal person can just go and buy this. And what was really interesting is hearing his perspective on the buying experience as well.
Mm.
So he was saying that, he went jeans t-shirt into the Aston Martin dealership and expecting a bit of snobbery. As the opposite.
Yeah. When you say an ordinary person, I don't think an ordinary person can afford 125 grand. But...
No, but you can't. No, let's say you are, and I think if you work hard and you're somewhat sensible with your money, if you really try and work hard, you could get to a point where, it's not out of reach.
No.
In the UK.
If someone said it as a life goal, it wouldn't be too obscene.
It's not crazy obscene.
No.
It's not like trying to own a Bugatti.
No.
Do you know what I mean? So, especially with finance and everything nowadays, it's not a completely unachievable thing to do. That's no different to the price of a new Range Rover.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
About that?
So if you look at how many of those are on the road, it is achievable.
Yeah. I know what's a better investment as well.
But yeah. Man, I can't believe I feel like they're slept on.
Yeah.
At that price and the performance.
That is a good price for a car like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Impressed. I was a bit speechless.
They are a bit overlooked in general. I think people don't take much notice. I remember the Grand Tour episode when Jeremy Clarkson had it, didn't he? When they went on a tour.
It's savage.
Yeah.
Absolutely savage. I was not expecting it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And the way it just pulls and just keeps going, things just move very fast. I was very impressed. So thank you very much for if you.
It's good bit of content there.
Oh mate, you're so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I can't say I've driven anything or been in anything as exciting as that in the last few weeks. But the weather's been very nice.
It has.
And I feel like because you've been busy, we haven't really done much, have we?
No, we went to record last week, didn't we? But neither of us are just in the headspace or capacity to do so. So we went for a little spin. We went to the pit stop, didn't we? I think it's called pit stop or Piston Club. Can't remember.
Piston Club, yeah. Near Stratford, on Avon.
Which we thought was more car related than it was. It definitely seemed to be a bike place.
I think it is more bike place than a car place, but I think they do car events.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were very good with your bikes. I had a bit of a lesson on what bikes are what.
It was good.
Trying to compare them to cars so I could actually understand.
That was harder than I thought.
He's struggling.
It was really hard. I thought, actually, we'll manage this but it's just a completely different world.
Yeah, it is.
To try and say, that bike is the equivalent of this in the car world is tough.
Yeah, it was a cool place though. I think it'd be good to go on a weekend when there's a car event on, see what it's like.
It was nice because it's somewhere different, and we're just lucky that we've got places like this fairly local.
Yeah. The next stop's called Toast. It's on the way to, I think it's called Toast. On the way to Worcester.
Yeah.
So I think they do kind of Cafe Machine-esque car events.
If not by the next episode, certainly by the one after that, hopefully we'll have the ability to talk about that.
There was an LFA at one of the last ones, so it must be half decent. Don't see many of them out.
Absolutely not.
I think I'm leading the way today, aren't I?
You are, unless you want to do the Dream Car Garage now for you to answer at the end.
Yeah, far away.
This is going to be
some time to think about this one.
Basically, my only contribution to this week's episode. So this... No, I'm not going to give any context. I'm just going to go for it, okay?
Do it.
It's quite long-winded. It's quite elaborate. We'll let you stew on it through the episode. Here we go. Right. Try not to fall asleep. You're in your 80s, tanned like a battered leather wallet, and living out your days in the hills of southern Europe. You've earned it. Years of graft and knowing exactly when to leave a room. Your days now consist of coffee, cigars, and giving unsolicited advice to waitresses half your age.
I know who this is about already.
You've got a cracking 2-car setup in your villa's garage already. You've got a 7-seater Nissan Patrol, because real men don't do crossovers. You need something that will climb a mountain, tow a tree, and still have room in the back for the grandkids or the blonde from the beach bar. You've got a Jaguar F-Type V8R.
Is this the best man speech?
You take out twice a month at the local Jag club. It howls like your ex-wife during divorce court and reminds you of the V12 E-types you used to hoon around in when petrol was 45p a gallon and the world made sense. But now, with more cash in the bank than you'll ever need, and absolutely no intention of letting your spoiled little grandkids get their grubby little TikTok hands on it, you've decided it's time for one last weapon. A Sunday special, a proper sports car. Something low enough to dislocate your hips and loud enough to scare off your neighbour's cats. Something totally impractical, wholly unnecessary, and absolutely glorious. You're happy to spend up to 100 grand, but you're not a bloody idiot and don't want to just spaff your pension on a batch. No, you want the biggest, loudest, most inappropriate car for the least amount of money possible. This isn't about comfort, this isn't about hybrid efficiency, this is about turning heads, burning rubber, and knowing that when your time finally comes, someone's going to find your body slumped over a carbon fibre steering wheel with a stupid grin and a lit cohiba in your mouth. So, the challenge to summarise. Choose your final addition to your sunset garage. One last flex for the history books. It must be loud, fast, wholly unsuitable for your age bracket. A real looker. We're talking poster on wall stuff. Absolutely nonsensible in any way. Something that makes younger blokes jealous and younger women confused but intrigued. Under £100,000, and the less you spend, the more beers you owe yourself. A car that will go from garage art to obituary headline if you get too throttle happy. Bonus points for scissor/butterfly doors, race seats that require a grappling hook to get out of, and colour that screams midlife crisis, but in your case, fully justified.
So in Joe terms, crazy supercar for 100 grand.
Yeah, proper head turner.
Is this based on your granddad? Is this a true scenario?
This is a true scenario.
Does he want to buy another car?
He's looking and he's got something in mind, and I'm going to use what I think he'll go for as, or he's looking at as my contribution to this. But I want to know what you come up with.
I've got a direction already, but I'll keep it to myself for now.
Right. We'll let you think about it.
I'll
give
simmer
an episode, and we'll come back to it at the end.
Okay. Yeah. I'll So the main topic I've got for us today, I've got an obsession at the moment with tier lists.
You have,
and I feel like you're not the kind of guy that watches videos on tier lists.
Not really, no,
because you're normal. But it's in the last couple of years. I don't know if anyone watches these. Tier lists seem to be the thing. So they just have a bunch of bars, A to Z or D or whatever.
Yeah.
And they rank whether it's cars or, for example, when Oppenheimer came out, I just started watching loads of Christopher Nolan tier lists where they just ranked all of Christopher Nolan's films. Okay. And so we're going to do that today.
You're going to have to guide me through this.
Yeah. I'll talk you through it as we go. And I think the main topic for that is going to be F1 racetracks for 2025. I think we both know a thing or two about F1 racetracks.
If there's any tier list I'm going to be interested in, it's going to be one like that. So
yeah,
I'm looking forward.
I've got a few warm-ups as well, which I'll give you as a surprise.
Okay.
We'll get us into the swing of things.
All right.
But first of all, we'll shoot through some news. I think I'll lead the news as well today, right?
Please do.
Unless you got anything.
I got one thing
that
I saw literally a couple of hours ago, and I believe it's called Apple CarPlay Ultra.
Yes, got that as well.
Is that on yours?
Yeah.
With Aston Martin?
Just came out today, didn't it?
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
Looks really cool.
So it's like an exclusive with Aston Martin. It's called, CarPlay Ultra.
Yeah.
And it basically just seems to be like CarPlay on steroids.
Well, it seems to be actually controlling, rather than just your music and your maps and stuff, it's your aircon and your dash and everything. It
car
looks
modes.
Great, I got to say. And I'm it's been quite Aston Martin heavy my last couple of weeks, which I'm all for. Today I saw a DB12 because I was at the Aston Martin Heritage Trust, more Aston Martin. Stunning. I love what Aston Martin are doing.
Gorgeous.
Oh, it was in a beautiful blue as well.
Yeah.
I really like Aston Martin at the moment
Mm.
and everything they're doing. Big fan.
Yeah. So that came out today, and I don't think there's much in terms of information. It just sounds like you can base. It's almost like an operating system from Apple, basically.
It's like iOS for your car.
Yeah, it's really strange, but definitely a welcome sight.
Yeah, it looks great, and I'm glad it's Aston Martin leading the way.
This has probably been about a month since we last recorded, so I've got some news. I'm just going to fly through the key topics.
Fill us in.
Go for another speed round. Porsche 963 Le Mans road car.
Okay.
So obviously 2 of the 3 brands have announced their next of the Holy Trinity.
Yes.
You've got the McLaren
W1
and the Ferrari
F80.
That's it. Thank you for helping me with that. And so obviously Porsche yet to announce theirs. They announced like a Mission X concept in like 2020 or 21 or whatever, which looked cool, but it wasn't really much to go off there.
Wasn't it fully electric?
I think it was electric, yeah. And so Porsche recently sent out a video celebrating 50 years of the Porsche 917. And so they sent out this video, and there was a silhouette at the end of the video. And basically online publications have kind of done their research, and it kind of looks like a 963. So the theory goes that that's going to be their next car, their next hypercar, and fulfill that Holy Trinity.
Goodwood release, do we reckon?
Could be. Could see it like.
Either that or the Geneva that's not in Geneva Motor Show.
Oh yeah, I don't know what's going on with that these days.
End of year.
But in short, sounds like hopefully there could be another Porsche hypercar announced this year.
Good news.
So I don't have any pictures, just that silhouette that seemed to be a bit of a reference to what's to come.
Bring it on.
But that's exciting.
It is.
Ferrari 296 Speciale.
Yes,
seen that?
See this. Yeah.
So that's also an Aperta model as well. Seems to be a 296 with a few aerodynamic flicks, a bit more power, bit more downforce, a bit lighter.
I saw it, but I didn't get that excited.
No, it's almost uglier than the normal 296, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then I saw a 296 GTS. That's the convertible, isn't it? Just going down the motorway. It's not a pretty car.
No.
It's got some weird. It's almost like the rear's really high and the front's really low, and there's just a weird step up, and it just doesn't have the same effect as older Ferraris do cruising down the road.
Yeah,
and that's
the incident.
Yeah,
because everything from the 360 is just got that stature to it.
You just can't help it. But when you see them on the road, stare and look back, you keep looking at it. I looked at it, glanced at it once on the motorway, and then didn't bother looking at it again. And that's the true test, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's just this whole running theme of new cars just don't do it the same as older cars, right?
They don't.
So yeah, I wasn't too fussed about it either, but I thought it was worth mentioning. Aston Martin DBS S, slight horsepower gain, bit of a weight saving, and some new exterior styling.
Yep.
Again, nothing too noteworthy on that one, but it's another car. And they seem to be rejuvenating that model a bit. I think it's doing a bit better these days.
Good.
Than the original. Slate Auto. This is another one, a weird one I picked up. It's a new American pickup truck brand. So it's like a pickup truck, but it's modular. So it can be like an SUV. It can be like a bloody Jeep, like an open top Jeep.
Really?
You can just put all these different like roofs on it.
So it's like an IKEA car.
Yeah. It's really weird. But I thought it was worth mentioning because it's quite cool.
Quite clever.
And apparently Jeff Bezos is invested in the brand or something.
Okay.
And their goal is to launch it at under 20 grand.
Wow.
For like a pickup with all the latest.
I think if you want to be in America and try and tackle the pickup game and Ford and Dodge and and GMC, you've got to go out guns blazing because you just won't.
You got to have
touch the market. You've got to have something, haven't you?
Yeah. I'm guessing that under 20K price.
Well, the pickup truck market in the UK has just died. literally as of last
Yeah.
month, just ended.
Is that because of the commercial?
Yeah,
tax
because
changes?
the double cab tax change on commercial vehicles, it just means that now I've got a few customers that would modify, upgrade, work on, and they're just now it's just Defenders, Defender 90s and 110 commercials
everywhere.
Yeah. And they're great, but that's what people have been not forced into. But yeah, pickups are no longer a thing in the UK, really.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. Audi e-tron GT Quattro. So obviously you've got the RS e-tron, you've got the S e-tron, and now you've got the GT Quattro, which is technically the entry-level model. So less power, and it comes in at about 80 grand.
Jeez.
85 grand. So that's still got 500 horsepower, 584 with launch control. But yeah, that goes to say something, doesn't it? The entry-level e-tron GT model is 85 grand.
Especially when we spoke about, was it the A6 that they brought out? And a new internal combustion engine for 55 grand. And it just looked great. It's like, I want that. Oh, not the 80 grand.
Yeah, these EVs are tough to market.
Although, for the first time in person, I have seen the new Renault 5.
Oh.
I want one.
There you go, mate. You're on the bandwagon.
It's the first time I've seen an electric car and gone, that is cool. And actually looked at it. I'd actually have the Renault over the 1890.
No.
Not from a probably driving dynamics, but just I want it in yellow. It looks so good. And I think it's because it's the Renault badge and it is the Renault 5, isn't it?
But that's it, because it's got that retro appeal.
Mate, it looks
it's actually
so good. It's the first time I've seen an electric car and gone, they smashed it.
Yeah.
I've actually get excited by the look of a car.
Yeah. I was trying to price it up for Lucy the other day.
Really?
To replace a Fiesta.
Mate.
And mate, they're well priced. They're like 23, 24 grand.
Which is exactly what
that's fair. It feels fair, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't argue with that. And by the time we've done a PCP deal and put a couple of grand down or whatever, it's actually a reasonably
deposit contribution.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want one as well. I might just buy one for myself, actually.
Do it.
Yeah,
especially with commuting for work and stuff like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm going to be commuting.
Do it.
So that's all the news I've got. Nothing major. A few new cars, but nothing very exciting. Apart from that Porsche, I'm very excited about what that will be, because there was a lot of hype around it from all the journalists. So we'll see what comes from that. So yeah, are you ready to do some tier lists and learn about tier lists?
Let's do it. Right. We are going to really test Joe's editing skills here. We've got 2 cameras on the go, 2 laptops on the go. Let's see if this works.
It's easy.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Right. So hopefully a few people watching will have seen one of these before. This is... You thought this was some dedicated app, didn't you?
I'm nervous.
It's very simple, Tom. S is the best.
Okay.
And then I've gone D for ditch.
Okay.
As the worst.
Why is S the best?
S tier.
Okay.
Super.
Okay, great.
Yeah. A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier.
Okay. Ditch.
So
nice. Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to rank F1 tracks in terms of how highly we would rank them. Does that make sense? And then by the end of it, you have a full list of where you would put your tracks.
Nice. Okay, I like it. But we've got a couple of warm-ups.
We've got some warm-ups.
Okay, let's go.
So you may have picked up already. We're going to start with Forza Horizon games.
Nice. I like it.
Apologies if anyone hasn't played these. You might want to skip ahead. But for anyone that has, this might be quite interesting. So obviously me and Tom are very big advocates of Forza Horizon. It's been a big part of our growth into the automotive scene.
It has.
But I think, apart from maybe FH1, we've both played all of them. I mean, I swear FH1, but
yeah, I was first FH2 and then came back to FH1. I got it afterwards.
Yeah,
but haven't spent much time on it. Not like the others.
No, the other ones we've put plenty of hours into those.
Indeed.
So let's start with the first one. I think, what was it, 2012, 2013?
I think it might be 2011.
Really?
Off the top
Gosh, you know better than me.
Yeah, could be wrong.
So FH1, you can see there the poster car, Dodge Viper, iconic. Set in Colorado. So you had that kind of mountainous, deserty section, but then you also had quite a lot of greenery as well, the other side of the mountain.
I want to play it.
I know. I've wanted to replay it a lot recently. And for me, I think we'll find this going through this specific one. I think the nostalgia factor plays a lot into this.
Yes, indeed.
So that might influence our decisions in terms of, in addition to whether it's actually a good game or not.
Are we doing this together, or you're going to do yours?
I think we need to come to a shared decision.
Okay.
And I think for this one, 5 games, 5 ranks.
Can't
We
rank
got it
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to pick one per rank. FH1.
If it were me, I would put it rank. You're going to disagree with this. C.
C?
Yeah.
No. It's the only one with an actual proper storyline.
Okay, no, I'd go up to a B.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
Mate, I'm A or S here.
Really?
Yeah.
So we're going to settle on B.
I'm going to settle on B. Is that the highest I can get you to?
That's the highest you can get me to.
I mean, the online on that was so good because you'd have like these custom lobbies up to a certain amount of players, and you'd just type a title, be like
it was kind of first of its kind as well, wasn't it?
The online was actually the best on that because it wasn't all this bullshit like random players spawning near you and like there's 100 players on the map that are all invisible. You joined a lobby, it was either a drift, a drag, or a race lobby, or like a cruise lobby, and then you just do exactly that, and then you leave and go to a drag lobby or whatever.
If you're at S and I'm at C, it's got to be A or B, isn't it?
I'm S or A. I'm not happy to put it in a B, but I will if you want, for the sake of diplomacy.
Go and put it in the B.
B.
Yeah.
We can move these around after.
We can. Okay, yeah.
Right, FH1 in B. FH2.
S.
Oh, I can't really disagree with you.
Because if it's not FH1 for you, it's got to be FH2, right?
It's just, when I think about the dream scenario, it's exactly that.
That opening scene.
French Riviera.
The map, the cars, the music, it nailed every aspect.
Yeah.
And I think we came to it at the right time from an age point of view when consoles were getting better as well. So for
graphics was an upgrade, wasn't it?
Graphics were an upgrade. Was FH1 Xbox 360 still?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's going to be an upgrade there as well, isn't there? So
yeah, this was Xbox One.
But nostalgia, just storyline for me.
It still had somewhat of a storyline because you were well known as a racer by that point, I think. But then you kind of went around the different
coming into the festival scene,
stages and stuff, and you still felt like you had some part to play in all of it.
Do you know what I really like about it as well? You didn't just get given a hell of a load of money and just buy anything you want. You actually had to work for the money to get the cars and the upgrades. And I like that.
This is a problem with the later games, isn't it?
Indeed.
And it spoils the work that you have to put in for it. So I'm happy to put it into an S.
It's so good.
It's the best out of the rest of them for sure.
Good.
I would argue FH1, but like I say, this is just pure nostalgia for me.
Yeah. Whereas I get that from FH2.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Okay, we're pretty agreed on that. FH3.
For me, it goes A. It goes next. If you think about the hours we've been in that game as well. And again, the map, Australia, and it was a big map. And compared to the previous ones, it was a big map.
It was a cool map. Had the kind of rainforest parts, had the desert. And I think, again, actually more so than between FH1 and FH2, the graphics upgrade. I still think FH3 looks as good as FH5, pretty much.
FH2 does feel a bit older with the graphics, but FH3 was very, very good.
The graphics.
One thing I want to note as well, the noise of the cars were really good in FH3. And tunnel runs and all those sort of things. They just nailed a few kind of key elements that, as a petrol head, satisfied.
But on the downside, I think this is when the story starts slipping off.
Agreed.
You start managing the festival or whatever, and you don't really feel like a participant, you know?
Yes, and it's far easier to get money. It starts to get way easier to get money in. I argue that it was actually one of the best games for drifting. Really good drift.
Because it started introducing those like drift builds in the
Yes.
menus, in the
Liberty
body
Walk
kit.
body kits.
I mean, do you remember the demo? I think you could play like, I think one of the it was like an M4 and then a Nissan Silvia.
Yeah, man.
And you wide bodied the Silvia on the demo. I was like, man, I can't wait for this game.
Was it I don't know if it's Supra or GT86. I don't think Supra is even out then.
The new Supra.
It was GT86 maybe that you could put a body kit on as well,
yeah.
and it was so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good for drifting.
Are you happy with that in A?
A, I'm happy with that.
I'd let you put FH1 in A as well, if you wanted to. If we weren't going to stick to the rules of one in each.
Yeah. That's where I want to put it. No, we said we'd do one per tier, so we'll leave it like that. FH4 and FH5 then.
Again, so I played a fair amount of FH4. We've got to be somewhat biased. It was a British map, and it was actually quite good.
Yeah.
But it became way too easy to get money in cars. Storyline fell off again, and although it was quite nice to be able to buy houses, that was quite nice.
Yeah, that was cool.
And garages and do that.
But again, you just got them so quick because they were
so
like,
easy.
You go into these lobbies and there'd just be like unlimited money, glitches and shit. And oh my god, the online glitches at the start. Do you remember when it launched?
Mad.
It was just all over the place. You just couldn't do anything.
No.
And so that launch was probably one of the toughest for them.
It was almost like they hadn't quite completed the game, but needed to release it.
Yeah.
Almost like it was released at.
Because they have their little calendar, yeah. Is it C or is it Ditch? Thing is, I played more of this than FH5.
I agree. I think FH5 is actually quite a good game. But it's like from a graphics, from
the map.
The map's huge.
Yeah.
But there's nothing that brings me back to play it.
No. And again, you spin one of these triple wheels and you just get 250 grand every 5 seconds.
Oh, and because you've played all the games previously, you get given 12 million to start with. And then
just getting gifted cars left, right, centre. Yeah.
But I don't think the racing's all that. I did so much racing in FH2 and FH3, and because you just get given so much money, you don't actually do any of the challenges in FH5 to. And
the problem for me, I don't know if it was a problem in FH4 as well, but like all the different classes and the different ranks, there was always one car that was always the fastest. Yeah. So whoever has that car, the top of B or the top of A,
yeah,
it's just if you don't have that car, you're not even in the race.
No,
as it's just like it's not pay to win, but it's like drive that car or you're not going to win. And so every race, just you didn't feel like you could drive what you wanted.
Well, you end up in classes and everyone's in the same car because it's the only car that's actually worth being.
It's just so like plain when it becomes.
I don't think cars sounded that very, very good at all.
No, I like the map though.
The map's good, graphics are great, and I want to like it more than I do. The problem is, they made 4 very, very good, but 3 absolute bangers to begin with. They just nailed everything.
Yeah.
So they kind of made it tough on themselves. They still came out with a very good game. It just there wasn't enough to keep me coming back because it was too easy to play.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm apart from FH1, I'm fairly happy with that. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it was me, that would be happening.
Funny how still FH2 is king.
Yeah. It kind of is when I think about it. I've always said FH1's my favourite, but FH2 was that perfect balance of like you just feeling like you could be in that scenario.
I hate to say it, but I understand why you like tier lists. This is fun.
Yeah. How good's this?
This is good. I like this.
You like this one?
Oh, here we go. Oh,
M3s.
We're getting juicy now.
Again, I think we'll probably be fairly aligned here. Let's again start in order. So start with the E30.
Tough. Okay. Oh, so we're gonna have a couple in a couple of categories, aren't we? E30 demands a bit of respect. They are cool. I feel like they're getting cooler as well.
Yeah. Well, that's reflected in the price of them, right?
Indeed.
They're crazy money now.
I'm gonna throw that. If it were me, in B.
B.
Where are you?
Oh, we've only got 5 tiers here, so let's say we can.
Yeah, we can
stack.
overlap.
Yeah. I don't think there's going to be anything below B.
It's slightly older for us from a nostalgia bracket.
Yeah.
So
we can't quite relate to that.
We don't quite relate in that respect.
I think they're stunning, though.
They're good looking, but in today's standards, they're probably quite slow.
Well, yeah, it would be, but
that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to insult a lot of people putting that in B. Because I know there's one car in there that I know it's definitely better than. Let's put it in B for now, and we'll come back.
We
to
can
it.
move it around. Yeah.
You're right. It is our list. It's our opinion. E36.
Ditch.
Ditch.
It's the ugliest one, and that's considering the G80. The G80 has been saved by the touring.
Yes.
So
True. That's it. We got to think about that as well.
yeah. So if I had to ditch one, it'd be the E36.
So I think it's pretty unanimous online that it was a bit of a miss, the E36. Whilst dynamically, I'm sure it was better than the E30. It had its issues.
I don't think it looks all that as well.
It looks like a E30. It looks like a 330 M Sport, doesn't it? Of that generation.
Yeah.
If that is a car. It doesn't. Yeah, it's very subtle, which isn't always a bad thing.
No, but there's subtle, and then the E60 M5 was subtle in some aspects, less in others. But from a styling point of view, it's pretty subtle. Yeah. But they still nailed it. Yeah. They didn't with that.
No. But I think you could argue the E46 is quite subtle as well.
Indeed.
I think
I agree.
An average person wouldn't realise what that is.
No, especially nowadays.
We certainly would.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave that in ditch for now.
Which brings us nicely on to the E46.
E46, I know where this is going.
Got to go S, right?
Absolutely. It's iconic. It's our generation. It was my poster car when I was a kid. No Ferraris, no Lamborghinis. It was an M3. And that was the one.
E46 M3. That, for me, my dad had one. I was probably 8 or 9 until I was 12 or 13. So it's quite a key part of my life and childhood that car played a big part of.
Yeah.
And there's songs and there's smells and there's certain things that remind me of that car. It's an important car.
You of all people would be able to firmly
spent a lot of time
say how good that car was. Yeah,
back of an E46 M3.
A lot of B roads.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere in Wales. It was great. It was really, really good. So
yeah, I think there's no arguments there, and I think few people would disagree with us.
It might have been actually earlier than that. It might have been 07, something like that.
E90 to E93. So the E90 was the saloon, E92 the coupe, and the E93 the convertible.
What was E91?
I don't think there was an E90. E91 was...
That was the touring, but they didn't
touring,
do
an M3.
Do an okay, fine. That's tough. I would initially want to say A.
Yeah. For me, this is all about the engine.
Yeah.
Because it was heavier, it wasn't quite as dynamic in the corners. But that V8 is one of the best V8s.
And it's a good looking car.
Ever. And it is a good looking car.
It's got, for me, one of the nicest side strakes as well. The way that they...
Yeah. Like the side silhouette, yeah.
Yeah, and it's quite smooth and buttery and rounded, and a bit like the E60 M5. Rather than the previous one's been quite square, it was more rounded.
For me, it's like a mini E60 M5 and kept the styling a bit, yeah. It's the same era. I love the interior dashboard of that era as well, with that big, almost like hole into the screen.
Yeah.
And just the dials and everything was so cool. Are we thinking A for now, yeah?
And we love that generation of BMW.
Yeah.
Good quality leather, interior. We've got, the start of iDrive and...
Proper leather.
Yeah. Just well thought out interiors. And even by today's standard, still feels perfectly modern.
And it's aged well.
Really well.
For sure. Whereas, it's hard, hate to say it, but the E46 hasn't, I wouldn't say has aged well. Because it does look old now.
But they are 25 years old.
Yeah. But I think considering the E92 was the next gen, it is much more modern than the E46.
It does.
But I think the E46 obviously has its own character to it because of that ultimate styling.
E92 ran up to 2013.
Yeah.
So that helps.
Yeah. Yeah, true. It's actually not as old as you think, is it?
No.
F80. I've got a soft spot for these.
I've got a soft spot because this is the era of BMW for us when we were starting to drive, play Forza, and run around in these cars.
Yeah.
And it was the first of the M4.
Yes.
Which is a nice car.
Yeah.
And we always had a soft spot for the M3, the fact that it was 4-door.
The arches at the rear, a bit nicer. Yeah. I feel like you say, because we were like 15, 16 when this came out. Whenever we'd see one, we'd shout.
Yeah, of course. It still seemed like an M car, and there were a few more of them on the road, but it still was for me a proper M car.
Yeah. Obviously, back down to the 6-cylinder, not as quite a nice sounding, but
if it were me, I'd put this in B.
Yeah. Like we say, we're not as familiarised with the E30, but it feels like an insult to put it above that for me.
Yes, I agree. There's just certain levels of respect for the E30 miles, and I think that leaves a nice gap for where the G80 belongs.
In C.
I think, it's the most capable car out of all of them.
It's the most grown up.
It's also the most expensive.
By some way. But then you think touring, and then it's like...
Touring's... I wouldn't say it's as, but the touring's cool. But
you can't put a car up just because it's got an estate version of it.
No. Or can you? I think it's got to go and see. I don't get excited by, especially the standard one. I'm like, is it an i3 or is it an M3?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's I still look at them when they go past. I think the styling's still a bit fugly for me, the front end.
I don't get excited.
No.
I see a G80 now, and I think, not a G80, sorry, an F80. An F80, and I'm like...
Still, like you say, you just don't lose that with an F80, but the G80 I'm not as bothered about. There's one that comes past me on the way to work a lot, and it's, I don't know, it's some special edition. It's got like the lines on the side. And yeah, even that special model doesn't do much.
There's one that lives opposite me.
And oh my God, the M Performance exhaust with the diagonal
triangular
was so ugly. Why would you expect that? It's just horrible.
Not good.
Are we happy with that? Do you want to move anything around?
No, that's good.
I'm pretty happy with that, actually. E92,
solid.
Again, soft spot for us, isn't it? So, and sorry, 36, you're in a ditch.
Ditched.
Okay, so that is the 2 warm-up rounds done. This is the beast now, mate. We're on 2 F1 tracks.
This is the big one. This is the daddy.
I think we should probably go through this at some speed because it's a lot.
Let's not overthink this too much.
Yeah. These are not in order, I'm afraid. I did want to put them in order, but they're not. And I'm not that good to remember exactly the order.
Are they alphabetical? No, they're not even that. Okay.
One we can start with, though, is Australia.
Yes. I think there's a certain level of excitement because it's traditionally been the start of the season.
Correct.
So, but it's not a track that get overly excited by. I'd put it in A. So it would be in the start of the season, quite exciting.
That's pretty hard.
And it's quite a fast track, and usually give some. And actually, this season, it was the start of the season again, and it was a really exciting,
a great race with the rain.
Yeah,
most of the rookies crashed out.
That I think it's got to go A
because of the race this season. I'll put it in A, but I think normally I probably wouldn't go above a B.
Okay.
Austria.
For one reason only. Playing F1 23, 24, 25.
Yeah.
It's the most fun track to compare times because it's the shortest track.
Yeah.
So being able to just bash out laps. And it's quite a simple track that with a couple of little technical aspects, especially what's classed as turn 3, I think. That tight right-hander at the top of the straight. There's some really fast flowing stuff. I'd put it in S.
Yeah, mate, I'm not too far away from you on that. I mean, it's definitely better than Australia. I think the race. Do you remember the race last year with Lando and Verstappen? Because they've got those heavy braking zones.
Yeah,
there's always
loads of opportunity to overtake.
Late braking.
Yeah,
it's fucking good.
It's probably a very good track to go and watch at because you're going to get a lot of viewing bang for your buck.
Yeah,
because it's not over a big area.
And it's on quite a bit of a hill, isn't it?
Yeah,
you get quite a good viewing of it.
Maybe we should go to Austria.
Yeah. Azerbaijan, Baku.
I'm not a massive fan of street circuits,
but
is it the fastest circuit on the calendar?
In terms of the high speed reached?
Highest average speed over the whole lap.
Okay. I mean, it's got probably one of the longest straights, isn't it? It's huge, that straight.
Yeah. Is that where they've recently been at? Just before Miami? That was Azerbaijan, wasn't it? At the Baku.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
You rank it.
You search.
Oh,
This is the one where it's got that really tight bit through the buildings.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah, of course. Where's the other one I'm thinking
I
of?
don't know what you're thinking of.
Abu Dhabi, probably. Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Not that fussed.
No. It's. I think it's actually the cheapest one to go to on the grid or something.
Really?
I think someone said that to me.
Is it safe to go to? Is that one?
Don't know. Yeah, maybe that's why.
Let's not get cancelled again. For the sake of, we've got a few tracks to get through.
Yeah, let's bash it out. Ditch.
Yep.
Ouch. Bahrain.
I like it.
Do you?
I do like Bahrain.
I just think in terms of the fans and the location, it's just really lifeless.
Agreed. I think it's probably on a very similar... It's actually a similar track layout, position, timings and everything to Qatar, and Qatar's better.
Yeah.
Mainly because I've got an association with MotoGP.
Yeah.
Qatar used to be always the first GP of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's floodlit and it's really cool. So
Bahrain has been a few times, isn't it? The first race of the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they tested there as well, didn't they?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'd give it a C.
C, I'm happy with that. Belgium, Spa.
S.
S.
No quibbles there. Brazil is actually a really good, fun track to play on.
I love racing on it on the sim.
Really good fun.
It's so narrow, isn't it?
It is, but it flows nicely in certain aspects.
I mean, some of the last years with the rain, when it rains, it really rains.
And Verstappen's performance in the rain last year was
yeah,
pretty much that one in the championship.
one of the races of his career.
I'd give that an A.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Happy with that?
Yeah. Canada, Montreal. Again, it just rains every time, so it's just quite enjoyable.
Yeah, it is.
But is it the best track in the world?
No, but it's quite fun playing the games and races. This is what I'm going to compare. To go round the circuits, is it fun? Has it got a nice flow to it? And does it produce good racing?
This is it. What we basing it on? Is it to watch? Is it to drive? Is it the technicality of the corners?
If we compare to Bahrain, Brazil, does it sit in between? Does it sit? I would say it sits in a B. I'd say it's better than Bahrain, not as good as Brazil or Australia.
Yeah, China. It's obviously got that crazy start, hasn't it, where it just keeps that first goal.
Goes forever. It's quite cool for Lewis Hamilton to get his first podium.
I think
it win. Is it a sprint win, wasn't it? Was it win?
Rings a bell, yeah.
I think he won the sprint.
Rings a bell.
But then he got cancelled in the race.
I think it's a good track to test out in terms of testing the F1 cars. Like, it's quite technical.
Why I think it's interesting is I think it's recently come back to the calendar. The younger drivers haven't done it. And the older drivers, i.e. Hamilton, do better. So
the old boys.
I'd put it probably C if it were me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not bothered about putting it further than that.
Hungary. I love the Hungary circuit.
It's a weird track.
But again, playing it on the sim, it's a lovely... I really like going around. I'm quick on it.
Yeah, you like it, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite tough on the sim, isn't it? Yeah. To get the corners right.
Yeah.
And you're almost setting yourself up for the corner after on a lot.
There's basically one straight. Yeah, it's not very long. So it's all corners.
That's the downside. There's not much overtaking. But that's main straight.
That's less the track's fault than it is F1's fault.
B?
I'd put it in B.
Yeah?
I'd put it on par with Canada.
God, we're so aligned.
Yeah.
Italy, Imola.
We play this a lot on the sim. It's an amazing.
It's so good. I love that. The bit where you go down and then right up the hill again.
When it's one of those tracks that when you hit
you can get out.
Brake markers or corner right is the most satisfying thing. I'd actually put it in S.
S?
Yeah, it's really I really like the circuit. If not, certainly A.
It has got a lot of history with like Ferrari and stuff as well. I mean, it's where obviously Senna crashed. Should we put it at the top of A for now?
Yep, happy with that.
I don't want to overload S. Should be pretty reserved, shouldn't it?
Should be top tier. Okay.
Monza.
B. For me. Good, great Italian circuit. Obviously,
great crowd.
Amazing for Ferrari. It's always where the biggest Ferrari crowd is. But it's quite a simple circuit.
It was quite simple, yeah. It's not too long, is it?
No.
Again, I quite enjoy driving it, but it's not that technical. No.
Although
about it.
The one thing that I always get annoyed by is Jake on the sim. That first corner, that chicane, was just shove it up my arse. just destroy the entire race.
Yeah, that.
To bleep that.
What was I going to say? Yeah, online racing on F1 on that is a write-off. The first corner is just a bloodbath.
There's no point in moving. If it comes on, I'm just like, nah, skip.
Japan, Suzuka.
I really like Japan.
Suzuka.
It's such a good circuit. It's a really technical circuit. There's that first sector is so hard to get perfect because it's almost just S's.
It's just figure of eight.
And the way you can carry speed through turn 1 and turn 2 because it's somewhat cambered, you can carry more speed than you think.
Speed, yeah.
And it's just a beautiful.
That's an A for me.
Agreed.
Were you going to say S?
No, I'm happy with A.
Mexico.
I don't like it.
Don't like
Mainly because I'm so slow and I've never gotten very good at it on the sim. I ditch it.
Ditch it, yeah.
Purely on the basis that I'm crap on it.
I've always just liked it just because of what's his name? He's not racing anymore. Perez. He just had such a big home following.
Yeah.
It was just so funny. Shit.
The one thing I do like about it is that kind of final sector through the grandstands.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I like that.
I feel like ditch is harsh, man.
I'd allow a C.
Yeah.
Because we've had some good racing there as well. Verstappen and Norris last year.
Yeah. See, Monaco, for actual racing and viewability,
ditch it. But
for history and just the fucking scenario and like the scenery, just S, mate.
Yeah.
So is it in the middle?
That's a really tough one.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because
I hate driving it.
As an event.
Yeah.
It's just
and the grid
next
wall
level.
Yeah.
It's so prestigious that you can't ditch it. You can based on the racing.
Yeah.
If you're talking qualifying, the qualifying's way better than the race.
Qualifying's good, yeah.
But anything less than an S seems wrong.
This could be in any category for me. I don't even know.
You can justify it anywhere. Or you almost don't want to put it on the board.
Yeah. It should be in its own tier.
I think for what F1's about, everything other than the racing, it's the most prestigious event of the year. So it's got to go in S. It's one of those top tier things that demands a certain level of
S.
Yeah.
That is a big decision. Zandvoort, Netherlands.
I like the cambered corners.
Yeah.
And the way it flows, but I've never gelled with it.
In terms of watching or driving?
Both.
Yeah. The cambered corners are cool. It's a tough track to drive. I always go off on the dirt after that section mark.
It's a B or C. It's a C for me.
You get some pretty good fans there. I mean, they all support Verstappen, but they are good fans. C?
Yep. Happy with that.
I think maybe
yeah,
up here somewhere.
High end C.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's fair.
Qatar.
B for me. Yeah, I like the circuit a lot. I like the floodlit aspect. It's been resurfaced. We haven't been there yet this year, have we?
No.
I like the circuit.
To be honest, mate, I can't really remember much about the previous races from Qatar.
No, I can't actually, to be fair either. But I have a soft spot because of Motorsport.
What did you say? B?
Yeah.
B?
Yep.
So you think that's better than Zandvoort?
Yep.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep.
It's not a right or wrong answer. Saudi Arabia. This is the really thin street circuit.
Where they've just been. Is that the one I was talking about?
That
formed for me.
Yeah.
Should we look at the calendar? That would help.
I just lose track.
We should follow this way.
Go on, better.
Right, here we go. Here we go.
It's a really thin one.
Saudi Arabia. Yes, and that's the quickest circuit.
Right. Okay.
It's so fast.
Yeah. It's got some funky corners.
I'm not fussed by street circuits. They're always going to rank lower for me.
And again, it's no offense on the Middle East countries. It's just because of the surround. Obviously, a lot of them are very rich and whatever, but I don't get the energy from like the crowd and the.
It doesn't have the vibe.
And the surround. Yeah, the vibe, just the general vibe.
It's a C for me.
C. I'm happy with that. Singapore.
Street circuit. I am so crap at this. It's by far the hardest circuit. Tough. It's harder than Monaco for me.
Yeah.
And it seems to go on forever.
This will sound soft as shit, but I just I just feel sorry for the drivers there because it's so bloody hot, and I'm just like, it must just be roasting,
Yeah.
and you just feel like no one's enjoying it.
No. See.
Got me flying.
Are we
for
only
this.
going to
This is
ditch
good.
one circuit? Did we ditch Singapore as well?
It's quite tough.
I would ditch Singapore.
Really?
Yep. We've got loads in C.
Yeah, true. Spain.
Okay.
So I've got Barcelona down here, but I believe this year it's moving to a street circuit in Madrid for the first time.
What?
I believe.
How have I not known about this?
Yeah. Search it.
I love
I might be wrong
Catalunya.
here.
If it's Catalunya, an amazing
Search
circuit.
it.
Oh my god.
Or maybe that's next year.
Here we go. Upcoming events. You might be. No, it is. It is.
No. Is that next year?
Barcelona.
Oh, that must be this year.
No way. That would be weird.
That'd be crazy.
And Catalunya is a lovely. I really like that.
Yeah.
Again, for MotoGP, it's a big MotoGP
Right.
circuit.
It's got that interesting downhill bit on the straight, isn't it?
I'd go for A.
Yeah. You know what? When I was putting this together, I was like, I'm not that bothered about Spain.
Should we meet in the middle at B then?
B. High B.
Hi B. Thank you.
Oh, but then you can't put it above Hungary.
It's a lovely circuit. It's
Well,
it's
maybe you
probably
can't.
the circuit bar Austria that I've done the most laps on.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind driving it. Silverstone.
Yes.
Yeah. We're biased for a start.
And it's the home of Formula 1.
It is.
So it kind of undisputed.
Can't argue with that.
No.
And again, weather is always hit and miss, which makes it exciting.
There's some really fast sections. There's some really tricky sections.
Yeah.
But also is one of those, again, where if you nail it,
Mm.
it feels so good.
Yeah, that's another one where it's hard to really put a lap together on. But in terms of F1 and watching it, it's well up there.
Usually
Good people that turn up and
Really good racing.
Yeah.
Usually.
it's just cool. I'm going this year, so I'll see everyone there on the Sunday. Austin,
Great circuit.
Texas.
Great circuit.
Cool circuit. I do like it, actually. Some good overtaking opportunities.
Where to put it?
And I just love, a lot of the American novelty rubs off on me slightly, but it's just funny how over the top it is.
Yeah, I'd definitely go B, maybe even A.
I'd go high B.
Let's go for that.
Yeah, top
Yep.
of B. Las Vegas.
Can we put Spain in front of Canada, please? And then Italy in front of Canada as well.
Ones are in front of Canada. You don't like Canada.
And then
to be honest, it's
Hungary at the back.
Canada is so mid. Is it even B?
Put it in C.
Top of C.
Yeah, they keep it Qatar in front of Hungary as well, and then I'm happy.
Who listens to this? No, I don't disagree. Las Vegas. What, we had 2 years of it now?
Purely based on how shit the setup is and how cringy some of the stuff they do with it.
So cringe. I'm so in agreement with that. Yeah. The highlight of Las Vegas GP so far for me is when that drain colour hit someone or fell off or some shit.
Leclerc's Ferrari.
Yeah. Miami. Again, it's a bit obnoxious.
Way too cringe, actually.
Yeah.
That was a complete flop. Norris's first win, however, C, maybe even Dish. Go. C. There's some exciting racing.
It's better than like Mexico and Saudi Arabia.
Go with C, yeah.
Probably better than China, though. Actually. If we were doing it on Martin's grid walks before the race, it would be the top of S.
Good point.
Because you could get so many stupid
Yeah.
sportsmen that don't know what they're on about.
That'll be the next one we do.
Yeah. Martin Brundle grid walks.
Yeah.
And then finally, Abu Dhabi. Oh, such a cool track.
I used to rank it loads higher. I think it was... Which Forza Motorsport did we play this a lot on? And we played it a bit on F1. I don't know whether to put it in B or maybe an A. Where are you leaning towards?
Oh, look, it normally rounds off the season, doesn't it?
It does.
Like, obviously when Verstappen beat Lewis on the last lap, and there's a lot of good memories from that. And I think the crowd is pretty good there, actually.
Let's go A.
Let's say it. Better than Japan?
No.
Japan. Right, now we have to review what's currently there.
Yeah, okay. Do we agree in S, the Monaco goes at the back?
Yes, I
It's
agree.
prestigious, but from a race point of
This
view,
is it.
it cannot go anywhere.
Let's rank S as well.
So yeah, that's got to go at the back. And then I think Spa and Silverstone are so prestigious that I do love Austria, but there's just something about those two that just demand a level of respect that
If I'm watching a race between Spa and Silverstone, I would pick Silverstone.
So Silverstone's got to go top. Do we think Silverstone, Spa, Austria, Monaco? I'm happy with that if you're happy with that.
Thing is with Austria, it's good racing and it's wicked to play, but it's a pretty simple track. But
it's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. Down to A.
Austria's dropping back a bit for me.
Australia, yeah. I think Japan's got to come up.
Yeah. Above Brazil as well.
I think it's got to go Italy,
Brazil is
Japan.
good.
Italy, Japan, Brazil. Australia, Abu Dhabi. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now into B.
Sorry, Monza's better than Austin.
Agreed. Spain's better than Austin for me as well. I'd be tempted to put Qatar.
I know you get that.
Austin as well. But that's just me. Then I'm happy with B there. C. This one's a tough one. There's quite a few in there. Tempted to put Bahrain first, then Zandvoort.
Zandvoort looks like it should go up a bit.
Zandvoort go to the front. Maybe followed by Miami or Bahrain. No, Bahrain, Miami, maybe.
It's funny, isn't it? When I thought of Canada earlier, I think because of the rain and stuff, I quite enjoy it. But the more I think about it, the worse it gets.
It just keeps dropping back.
If we carry on, it will be at the bottom.
It was almost in B a minute ago, and it's almost ditched.
I reckon we have to pick one more to go and ditched.
Oh, I think you're right.
And it's this.
Yeah. And it's gone.
But we'll put it at the top. And it's gone. Can't put it at the top.
We put an Azerbaijan at the back of ditch. Because it was the first one we ditched.
It's not even that bad. It's actually had some good racing recently.
Yeah.
Recent years. Las Vegas is just bottom.
Yeah, it is actually. You're right.
It's just money-making cringe for me. I'm quite impressed how they actually got a racetrack in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
That's commendable.
That's probably the most exciting thing about it, is from an engineering point of view, what they've managed to do.
I don't know if it was the first one or they've done it on both times when they've got all the players like coming up on these podiums before there's all the crowd like fireworks and they were just stood there like. Oh.
They had Bruce Buffer, the UFC announcer, do it as if they're fighters. Like, no.
Staff was there just like frowning.
They're all just there, like stood there really awkwardly, like looking side to side. It was actually more awkward than the F175 Live thing.
That's tough to beat.
Yeah. And Miami wasn't great either, to be honest.
It's not far off Miami, you know. But it is a better track.
It is a much better track. I'm happy with that.
I'm pretty happy, you know.
And I've got to say, I've thoroughly enjoyed this.
You're now a tier list fiend.
Converted.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to spend hours watching it like you do, but I'm excited to do some more of these.
Yeah, we'll have to get a few more going. Any suggestions? If you do enjoy it, let us know what you want us to tier list.
Yeah.
And we're sure this is definitely not everyone's opinion, so apologies if we've offended you there.
It'd be interesting if give some feedback on Forza, the M3s, and this as to what you might change, and if we're just completely wrong.
I'm pretty happy with the M3s.
Yeah. I just like in my mind sorting things and putting things in place, you know?
Who's the autistic one now?
I think we've both got a bit of the tism.
The tism. I'm pretty happy with those.
Mate.
Might frame them and see how they age, because I'm sure they'll change.
Yeah. That'll be interesting. Right, before we wrap up,
Oh,
Dream
bloody
Car
hell.
Garage. Dream Car Garage. Do you need a quick refresh reminder? Are you happy?
I'm just going to send it.
Right, okay. What are you going for?
Gallardo.
Really?
Yeah. Come on. The way you explained it. Shouty, aggressive, bright colours. A bright yellow Lamborghini Gallardo V10.
Okay. Interesting.
What? So did your granddad have a car in mind? Or did
Yes.
you have a car in mind?
He has a car in mind.
Right.
And for him, it suits.
Okay. What is it?
It's not something you'd... It's a bit of a side bet when you actually think about it, because it's a curveball.
Right. I have no leads right now.
It's not a real one because they're millions. It's a replica.
A replica?
A Ford GT40.
A replica Ford GT40?
They are stunning. They look amazing, and there's some fantastic ones out there.
Are they made out of fiberglass?
I don't know, probably, yeah. But they're well made, and they look amazing.
That looks sick.
Yeah. And they're 80-ish grand.
Right. What, it was a V8?
Yep.
Yeah?
5 litre.
I mean,
I've offered...
That would turn some heads.
Would turn some heads, but the noise of them, they're just so
bet.
raw. They're amazing, completely uncomfortable, and one of the sexiest things.
But
It's
like,
just a piece of art.
What's the chassis?
I haven't looked this far in. I've got to go and look.
Like, is it a Mazda MX-5 chassis?
No,
Like, what is it based on?
No, it's like a full, like
Right.
based on
It's like a retro mod thing.
proper
Yeah,
replica.
so it's properly engineered.
Like I guess a kit.
It's not like a kit car.
Kind of, but properly. It's not like
You're not saying
Caterham, but
No.
I've offered for us to drive it down to Spain.
If we have to, yeah.
I thought that'd be quite good fun. I don't think he'll want us to, but and it's not to say he's actually going to
So
go forward. But
would he source it from the UK?
yes,
Right.
he really wants one.
Hey, fuck it. 'Cause
I've told
he's
him
got
to
an
do
F-Type at the moment, hasn't he? He's still got the F-Type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
He
not
wants
gonna go
another
anywhere.
V8.
This is just a fuck it.
Hey, literally. Why not? Yeah.
It's really cool.
Wicked.
So yeah,
I hope he does.
and there's not much else that's as head turn
That is aggressive. Yeah.
or slash impractical.
Yeah.
But that's irrelevant. I said even if you can't drive it, get in or out of it. It's still a nice thing to look at.
Yeah, it'd be beautiful. It depends how tacky it is as a retro mod. I'm sure, by the sounds of it, it's properly made.
There's some really good ones. There's a few companies in the UK that do them and do them properly. I want to go look at them and FaceTime them when I'm there, and we'll go through.
You can be his little agent
Yeah,
in the field.
and then try and convince him to do it, and then take it down. Basically,
I'll join you.
nice. Is that about us for today?
I think that's it, yeah.
We're going to wrap up.
Another long episode.
Thank you for your tier lists.
Welcome.
I thoroughly enjoyed.
Yep.
I'd be interested to see what other people think and what you would come up with for the Dream Car Garage as well. You might need to go back and listen to the start.
Yeah.
To really get
For
a
the
feel for
effort.
exactly
That was
what
half
we
the
wanna do.
episode.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, it's been a bit longer than usual. That is my bad. We should be back on the train of churning out content. And there seems to be a few exciting opportunities that have actually come about over the last month or so as well. Some of the things we mentioned beforehand are coming closer and into fruition with racing and some manufacturers, and it's all going quite well.
It's all pretty exciting. It's all going a bit too well.
We're, in theory, doing exactly what we wanted to do, and that's just open up access to more and more stuff.
And talk about what we want to talk about. You know, we're not optimizing these conversations for views or whatever. We just do stuff that sounds fun.
And this was.
Good. I'm glad. It was a bit of a 50-50 with you.
It was good.
So I'm glad you liked it.
It was good. I'm looking forward to doing some more, and I'm quite enjoying the fact that we've done 3 or 4 episodes on the bounce now that are completely different.
Exactly.
Anything else we've done.
We don't want to just turn up and do the same thing every week.
You set the bar high. I'm going to have
You're going to have to
come
cut
up with
that
something cool for next week.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Look forward to it.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, guys.
Ciao.